Hi everyone, this is CricketSong with Inner Wisdom, and you're watching another episode of Practical Witchcraft. In this episode, we're going to be casting a Return to Me spell. So let's head on over to the altar and get casting. Hey everyone, so we're at the altar and we're doing a Return to Me spell. So, first thing we want to do is I need to clear the altar of my feathers. Move that over, out of the way, so I have an area to work with. Okay. Alright, and I want to get the, I want to light my candles. I guess I first should let you know that I would do this spell, Return to Me. I want a lover to return to me. We've parted ways and I want him back. So I would do this on a Friday or Monday, and I would do this during a waxing or full moon. I am going to begin by lighting my candles on my altar. I light the red candle for the divine primordial feminine, or the blood. I light my black candle for the divine masculine, or the primordial masculine, or the flesh. And the white for the overall spirit, or bone. Now, every time, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you notice that these are the candles I light. If you work with specific deities, you know, your goddess, your god, and your altar candle, or however, whatever spiritual entities that you work with. These are the spiritual energies and entities I work with. The white candle represents all aspects of spirit, my beloved dead, my familiar spirits, the ancestors, my spirit allies, my spirit guides, and then the primordial feminine and the primordial masculine. These are the spiritual entities I work with, and that's what I'm evoking when I light the candles. I also, if I were to actually be casting this spell, I would be saying an evocation for each of these candles, but because this is more of a demonstration to show you what you could do, or how I might do it, or how I have done these spells in the past, it's just a demonstration, an actual visual demonstration of what I have done or would do or might do. I encourage you to change things up to fit you, to fit your particular style and your particular craft. So I've evoked my spiritual entities. I've also come into this space, come to my altar in an altered state of consciousness, in the state of consciousness where I do my magic. However I get there, I've done it already when I approach the altar. So that's a given. So whether I do a meditation, whether I do some trance work, whatever it is, I've done it before I've come to the altar. Okay, so now I've done my evocation. Now I'm going to start my charcoal disc so that I can burn the incense I've crafted for this particular spell. So I need to get a charcoal disc out. And I'm going to light this. As I've said before, incense, scent, smell plays a large role in my spell casting, so I usually have an incense that I'm going to light while I work. For you, maybe incense doesn't play a big role, and maybe incense isn't something you would have every time you do a spell casting, or maybe you have only one particular incense that you use every time you do a magical working. Again, this is what I might do or would do or have done, but I can tell you that every time I do cast a spell, more likely than not, I have some sort of incense burning. So as that lights, I'm going to share with you the incense mix. I make my own loose herb incense, and this is the one I've made for this particular spell. This is made of rosemary, catnip, vervain, dragon's blood, and dried hibiscus flower. If you're curious as to how I pick the herbs for my incense, you can watch the very first video in this series as I go through and show you how I choose each herb, the whole steps. But for now, this is already been made, prepared, and this is the incense I'm going to be using while I cast this particular spell. The other things that I'm going to be using is an orange. This is the navel orange I purchased from the grocery store. I'm going to use an orange. I am going to need a sprig of rosemary. So I have not grown rosemary, and actually at this time of the recording there's snow on the ground. So I went to the local grocery store and I got a package of rosemary, and I'm going to use a sprig of rosemary for this particular spell. I have a knife to cut my orange because I'm going to be cutting my orange in half. I'm going to need a red ribbon. So I have this nice red ribbon here. It has an elastic. This was on a bag of, I believe it was chocolate covered pretzels, maybe. And I saved the red ribbon because it was pretty, and I have a few of these because it's going to come in handy, and I'm going to use it. If I had a ribbon, a red ribbon from maybe a bouquet of flowers that this particular lover gave to me and I want them to return, I might use that. So this could have been from a gift, or even that bag of chocolate covered pretzels. If it was something that my lover had given to me, I might want to use that because it symbolizes the act of love, and I want to return my lover to me. I am also going to need either a photo of him and a photo of me, but because I don't have one handy, I'm going to take this piece of paper, I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to write our name, my name and his name. So I'm going to write this. You can do red ink. I'm just going to write it in black ink. So I'm going to write my name on one side and his name on the other. I am not going to rip it. I'm going to keep it connected. So I'm going to keep this connected like this. And I want them, the two names, facing each other. My name and his name facing together. We're going to put that inside the orange. Okay, so I'm going to start my incense burning. Okay. I also have an incantation I'm going to say, but first things first, I'm going to cut the orange in half. Okay, cut the orange in half. Then I am going to put the names together, and I'm going to put the sprig of rosemary in between, and I'm going to put this together, and I'm going to put, this isn't going to fit. I want to tie the ribbon around, and the ribbon is not big enough. See if I can untie it. No, it's just a decorative thing. Okay. Maybe I should have tried this beforehand, right? So I'm going to squeeze this together. Okay, so what I did for the purpose of this demonstration is I've cut some of the orange out, but I would have purchased a smaller orange to make this work, or I would have gotten a ribbon that I could have untied and tied up. But I've put this so that it is set. The two names are face to face with the sprig of rosemary. I am going to make sure my incense is going. I'm going to place this on my pentagram, my pentacle, and I'm going to say the incantation. Okay, so the incantation is, with this orange cut in two, I place two photos, which I would have done two photos, or I'm going to say I place our names, me and you, binding with a ribbon of red. Soon we will be in my bed. We were together, then apart, but you remained within my heart. Return to me, bring back what is meant to be. This is my will, this has been done, so will be as if we're one. So mote it be. Again, you want to seal the spell. And then what I would do is I would chant, return to me, my lover, return to me. So as we've done in past spells, we're going to start slow and low. Return to me, my lover, return to me. 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 You raise that energy for as long as it takes. I'm not going to sit here and do that, but for as long as it takes, you're going to raise that energy until you feel it is almost at its peak, and when it's at its peak, you send it to this orange. I would leave this orange on my altar until my lover returned to me, or until one full moon cycle, and then I would bury this or release this in however you feel it is more apt. So there's differences. If I bury it, it feels like I'm burying a seed and I'm going to encourage it to grow. In some instances, though, burying it feels like I'm burying it, meaning it's dead and I'm putting it to bed. I might also put it in a box and keep it under my bed. But once my lover has returned to me, I actually would probably bury it to keep it, or to keep it where it is, or put it in the freezer to keep it frozen, to keep that love, to keep my lover with me, to sort of suspend it, to keep the spell going. Once that is done, once I feel like it is complete, then I will thank all the spiritual entities that have come to aid me, make sure their offerings are still acceptable, and leave the altar, extinguish the candles. So that's a return to me spell. Until next time, I love you. Blessed be.